Sky Squad, we are back in the building, baby. We are back in the building. You know what? After earlier today, my video for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, somebody wrote in the comment section, "You are so unprofessional." And I just had to chuckle to myself. And I said, you know what, self, you going to do your next review and you going to just do it hands down right here. Okay. In my news anchor voice. You know what I mean? Okay. And so we're going to do it very, very professional style. Okay. We're going to do a professional style for the professional seekers in the audience. You know what I'm saying? So let me transform. Hold on. And we're back. So this episode of Married to Medicine is really about Toya, Audra, and Anila. Oh yes, that's we're going to be talking about Toya, Anila, and Dr. Heavenly spreading the tea. That's what we're going to talk about today. I ain't doing that. Listen, if you don't like my shenanigans, I am filled with chaos and confusion. Then I don't know what to tell you. Welcome to the show. Okay. We're going to be talking about Married to Medicine. Season 9, episode 10 is called Holla Slay in honor of Quard's Holla Slay and Happiness Jamboree. Okay. That's not the official name. I can't remember the name that she gave it, but we'll get to it in a second. Okay. So let's talk about it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I think I'm going to give this episode, what am I going to give it? I'm going to give it a 10, baby. It was a 10 for me. To me, this had all the, yet again, chaos and confusion that I happen to love, okay? And I often tell you guys that I'm not always looking for an episode that is like, somebody all up in each other's face, although we got that tonight, okay? Rumors being spread, although we got that tonight. Argumentations happening here to and from, shade being thrown. No, I'm not always looking for that. Sometimes I'm looking to feel something. Sometimes I'm looking for emotion. Sometimes I'm looking for what did production tell us story-wise? What did a character give? You know what I'm saying? So to me, I feel like it's more than just about all of that. But last night was about all the stuff that we all like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I just gotta get into it. Last night's episode was so good, from the Audra and Toya of it all. And I want to know, do you guys feel like Toya was being picked on last night? Like, I just want to know in your, like, give it to us in the chatterization. Do you feel like Toya was being picked on? Like, this was her episode to get got, okay? To get the goop and to get the gotcha? Or do you feel like everything she had everything coming to her that came her way? Let a brother know in the chatterization, because Anila and Audra was ready for Toya last night, or were they? Okay, we're gonna get into it. All right, so we start this episode off. It's Christmas time in Atlanta. Okay, and we are having another dinner at Dr. Simone and Cecil's house. This time with Quad, Toya, Eugene, and Audra and her husband. I think his name is Martin. And so Toya wants to know why, because Audra rolls up in her jeans, and I guess Martin had on some jeans and some sneakers too. They so new. You know what I mean? Like, they new to the TV space, right? Because they come rolling up in their jeans and they tennis shoes, and Toya is like, why y'all got on jeans and tennis shoes for dinner? How they get the dress down? Okay. Now, I could have swore, I thought in the last episode that they did one of these dinners that it was kind of a requirement to dress up. But that was just what I thought. Maybe this won't the same. I don't really know. But, Audra is like, well, this is what I wear when I'm going to my friend's house for dinner or whatever. For me, because I've been in this reality space for like a while now, um, when I did my show, the only time I got to dress up was during my confessional segments. And that wasn't really dressed up because they didn't want me to be like too dressy, but just look nice or decent or whatever. But because of the nature of my show, I was never dressed up while filming. But if I had the opportunity to film, I would show up at all of my filming like dressed down. I mean, not dressed down, but like dressed down. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna show up and show out, right? But there's the real in reality, and I feel like Audra is giving us her reality. And her reality would be that she would wear jeans and sneakers to her friend's house. It just so happens that the reality of the reality show is that you usually dress up. Okay. So Toya is commenting on that. Anyway, it's time to talk about the book. The Dr. Cecil and Dr. Cecil. He ain't no doctor. That Cecil and Dr. Simone are writing. Okay. And Audra wants to know, well, does it speak to our generation? Because I was born in 1990, okay? And everybody at the table looking at her like, she fresh out of high school. What is she doing here? How did she get in this room, Ike? And I do find it interesting. It does add a bit of an interesting dynamic that you would have a couple that is so much younger than the other couples, because I do think that as we see throughout the episode, it does provide a frame of reference to see what a new young couple, married couple, um, hasn't experienced yet and what they can learn from the seasoned couples. So they get into this conversation about the ebbs and flows of marriage and how they handle things, for a long time. And Toya talks about how, when she gets angry at Dr. Eugene, she can't just walk away when you marry. And there are times that she wishes that he wouldn't even get into bed when she be mad at him. And, they somehow get into this feeling of, being respected by your spouse. It turns into being respected by your friends. Now, before I get to that, I'm going to say that I can understand what Toya is coming from when she says, being so mad that, you can't even see this person lying in the bed next to you. But I think the key is when you're married even when you're mad, right? So you're married when you're happy and you're married when you're mad. So when you're married when you're mad, you still have to go to bed together. That's just my belief. I mean, Dr. Simone talked about a time period where she went to bed, in the guest bedroom when she was mad, and Cecil came into bed with her. I think that's appropriate because at the end of the day, I feel like when you decide to get married, every marriage has their own rules. And so whatever your rules are what work for you. But I will say that I do think that there is something to be said for getting into the same bed every night. This is your place of refuge. And this is your place of intimacy. This is the place where you and your spouse share in a space together that is communal. And I feel like it is to be sacred and savored. Okay. That's just how I feel. But anyway, we get into talking about being friends and respecting friends. And Audra asks, how can she feel comfortable about being around people that talk about her being a bad attorney and how she's only wearing Champion clothes? Y'all know the Champion brand, okay? Apparently, Quad told her in Vegas that Toya was talking about her only wearing Champion, okay? Because she wore Champion in one of the scenes, and Toya is looking for Gooch. Toya's looking for the Gucci, the Louis, the Prada. Gucci, Louis, Prada, Gucci, Louis, Prada, pop them tags. Anyway, but So she's looking for that. Toya explains, well, we were all hanging out in Vegas and we're all looking like this, and you come in looking like that. Audra says, I do not care about no labels. And Toya says, no, you don't. Okay. Um, but Audra's like, but you care about labels. And Audra and Toya says, no, I don't. Audra says, yes, you do. And Quad calls it out in her confessional. Quad says Toya is insecure because her self-worth is wrapped in labels and she's still insecure and still misled, honey. Okay. I was like, Quad was coming through with the reads last night, baby. This a quad heavy episode makes for a good episode. And what I mean by that is when she's actively doing something. Now, I don't mean no harm, okay? I love the fact that she is the care, she is acting as a caretaker for her nephew. But I needed to see more going on with Quad than just her being the caretaker. I need to see Quad in action because Quad in action is hilarious to me. Okay. So, anyway, Audra tries to go in about how she's on a budget and they just can't agree. So, they change the topic. Quad, as an alpha woman, okay, wants to know, how does a man accept that you still that I'm going to be an alpha woman and you can still have your masculinity? And Dr. Eugene says, well, I'm not in charge of my wife, but she'd like to be in charge of me. So Dr. Simone says that she's going to have a chapter in the book called Vulnerable, and that's for Eugene and Cecil. But Dr. Eugene says, I'm vulnerable. Here, let me show you. Toya, last year I wasn't a good team player in our relationship. Okay. And you know what it hit me in that moment as I was watching this show? To me, what I liked about it was the conversation about love and marriage and relationships did not seem forced. And I did like the level of vulnerability that we continue to get from the cast of Married to Medicine. The same cannot be said for Lewis and Tiffany. And I just thought about it because we had just come off the episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville where we had Tiffany and Lewis being kind of accused of not being transparent. And I thought about all of the transparency that we're getting here with these couples. Um, it's very, very interesting to me to see the difference. Anyway, Dr. Eugene apologizes to her, and Cecil asks, did what happened last year carry over into this year? And it is clear that the answer is yes, and they are still dealing with the after effects. Audra and Martin start talking about their marriage, and he asks if it's a good idea if they go tit for tat on things, like because sometimes he be feeling like it. And Quad tells him, absolutely not. That will be the death of your marriage. And if anybody knows, Quad knows. Okay. Speaking of Quad, okay, she is working with Anna, the party planner. Okay. And Quad wants to keep the party on the lower level. Don't let these folks upstairs in my good rooms. Okay. You keep these scoundrels down here where I can keep an eye on them. All right. And so we learned that it's going to be called Miss Quad's Holla Slay and Housewoman Party and Jamboree. Okay. And so Quad doesn't really want to spend any money wastefully, unlike Toya, who wastes all the money. But there will be some hip hop dancers for which I can tell you, Quad, in my opinion, you wasted your money on that. Okay. Because when I heard dancers, I thought it was dance troupe, dancing dolls and things. No, I got 3 break dancers. Now they did their thing. They did their thug thizzle, but that wasn't what I was expecting. Okay, it wasn't given enough. It was given she by Sheen. Okay, it was given. It was definitely given she by the Sheen. Okay. Now, anyway, only because my expectations was for a hip hop squadron. Okay. That's what I was expecting. So anyway, um, we go to Anila's house. I do not know what happened in this scene because I got up to make myself some cereal. Okay, to be honest with you, the Anila and the family scenes, they just go nowhere for me. Okay, I try, but last night I didn't even try. Okay, I just went into the kitchen, made me some cereal because I was hungry. I ate the cereal, and then the scene was over. Long story short, she over her parents being at a house. Period. The end. Call me when y'all get back to Anila and this private label hair store because I'm more interested in that. This storyline with her mama is just not it for me. Because to watch a 40-something-year-old woman be bossed around by her mother is just, I mean, it's just not what I want to see on my Married to Medicine. Give me the Anila that shows up bringing a U-Haul, okay? Give me that Anila. Or the business Anila. You know, not the blog Anila, but the business Anila. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. Anyway, Toya is preparing a gift basket for Quad. You know, she's got a diva t-shirt that's really the emphasis on the D for divorced. She's giving her a Snuggie to keep her warm at nights because she's so alone, and a bottle of wine so that she can drink while she's alone in her Snuggie. The guests all start to arrive at Quad's Holla Slay and Hamburger Halloween party. I mean, holiday jamboree. Okay. Toya arrives with the gift basket and Quad accepts it. You know, um, she says yes, divorced. You know, inspired, vivacious, intelligent, everything that Toya wants to be. I was like, girl, that included the word divorce. You saying the woman wanted to be divorced? I don't know. The way she was making it seem like the man's clunker won't clunk in that episode, I don't know about it. But you know, I like Toya. Toya is a good reality TV personality because she reacts. You know what I'm saying? And she don't always say the right things. And that's what you want in a reality TV personality. You know, she's a little bit unlike not self-aware, not a little bit, a lot not self-aware. Maybe she is self-aware, but I mean, she comes across like she's not self-aware. But whatever the case may be, I like it. Okay. It is made for great reality TV over the years. And so thus continue on, Toya, on your quest for labels and love. All right. Or whatever you do. Or according to the streets, well, we're not gonna go there. Guests all start to arrive. Toya, you know, she got the gift basket. Simone comes in wearing the same dress as Quard. Okay. Y'all tell me who wore better. All right. Anila arrives and her whole family is with her, plus her neighbor, and she mad. She gonna get mad later because Toya is talking about all the diamond nails on her dress and say she look like a figure skater. Okay, why this is bothering Anila, I don't know. Why is she taking anything Toya says seriously? I don't know. I don't know why she's so affected by Toya, but she is. Anyway, she has brought Zaina with her as backup because Zaina used to be friends with Toya, but now Zaina is allegedly spreading the tea around the neighborhood that Toya done slept with somebody in the neighborhood. Dr. Heavenly can already see that it's going to be some mess. Speaking of mess, Toya is trashing Neela's outfit left and right. Meanwhile, Carrie is joking about what whomever had to do to give up for Anila's raw Indian hair weaves. So they are just raking Anila over the coals tonight. Anyway, Quad announces that it's time to go outside, okay? And that's when Heavenly tells Dr. Jackie that Anila brought the lady Zaina that's spreading the rumors about Toya sleeping around to the party and that she thinks is messy and wrong, okay? Dr. Heavenly is just like on a mission tonight. So Quad goes to the deck to give a soliloquy to the crowd of minions beneath her feet, okay? These These mangy guests are so lucky to be in the presence of one such as Quad. I am divorced. But I did the doggone thing. Welcome to my home. You thought I couldn't do it, but I did it in your face. And now you will relish in the fruits of my labor. You measly peasants, you. And thank you, Mama, for being here. I'm taking care of you too. Okay, so we have that. That's when the breakers come out. Okay, they do a break dance. If it's some crawling on the floor and things. Okay, and so then Dr. Heavenly asked Audra and Toya, asked Audra if she and Toya spoke. Okay, they haven't. Anila and Zaina are annoyed by Toya talking about Anila's outfit. Everybody makes their way. Everybody makes their way back in the house. Okay, I done lost my notes. Hold on, lost my notes. Everybody makes their way back in the house. This is where the action starts. Okay, so follow along with me real quick. Okay, so as Quad starts talking, Toya starts interrupting her, and Quad has to tell a girl, stop talking while I'm talking. Suddenly, Audra is back. And she's like, and while we're at it, Toya, and Toya's like, oh, God, what now? Anyway, Audra gets up and starts talking about how Toya comes to everybody's house and always talking about everything. And honestly, here's the thing. This moment would have worked the night before, okay? It would have worked at either in Vegas or at Simone's house. It ain't really worked too well last night, Mama. Now, you did read her for fills, okay? But it was low impact. You know what I mean? It was like low impact aerobics, what you wanted was high impact aerobics, okay? And what you was given you in this moment was given Sheen by Sheree, okay? Versus the moment that I think you thought it was going to be. And it was not because you did not have the read. You had the read. You had it down. It was the moment that you did not have, okay? It was a moment where you took to the floor to go after Toya, okay? No, you wait until she says something to you, okay? Because right now it just feels kind of awkward as everyone is just sitting there looking like, what is she doing? She has gone and gotten all the details on Toya and the back end information on the houses, the sales, the 7 liens, and all of that. But here's the thing, while you are exposing all of this, it just on camera read, because of the awkwardness in the room, like, what's happening, girl? Like, what are we doing? Wrong moment. You know what I'm saying? Right read, wrong moment. All right. But she's new here. She just started going to this school, so she don't know what time lunch is yet. And so we're going to give her a pass. I love her excitement, though. She was committed to the read. Okay. So we're going to give her some points for that. Okay. But it was the right read, wrong time. Okay. Timing is everything, because otherwise you're going to lose your audience and you lost them. Okay. Simone wants to go. Okay. And Toya's like, girl, you really looked all that stuff up? Anyway, Audra ends up calling out Simone for trying to leave because her friend was getting red. And then Anila starts in on Toya. But just like Anila has backup, so does Toya. Okay. Toya got her friend Carmita. And Carmita don't take too well to Anila coming after her friend Toya. And Carmita got some things to say. Apparently, Carmita been cutting her eyes at Anila all night. So Carmita ain't here for Anila coming at her. And Carmita get up out of her seat and about to roll up on Anila, who does not move, by the way. To her credit, she got some of that Kieran in her. I mean, you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. That bring it on type energy. And you see, Qual had to get up and go round up Carmita and tell her, you ain't gonna do this up in my house. You ain't gonna mess up my good carpet up in here, okay? Basically, Anila's point to Carmita is, girl, I don't even know why you are here, okay? You're not even on the call sheet, okay? You was not on the call sheet to film with us today. Why are you here, Carmita? Anyway, as Anila is going off on Toya about Zaina, okay? Because basically Zaina and Toya used to be friends allegedly. Anila tells Toya that Toya effed up the whole neighborhood. Toya says, those girls are no one to me. Zaina pipes up and says, of course you don't know me, because you don't want me to open my mouth, okay? You don't want me to open my mouth. And I'm carrying this scene right here. I'm carrying with my drink, like, are they fighting again? She just be fading into the background every time they fight. But anyway, so that's when Dr. Heavenly tells Toya, listen, girl, they telling the people around town that you done slept with somebody in the neighborhood, okay? All right, there we go. That's it. And so Toya reacts, baby. Toya is like, which one of y'all B said that I will take my shoe off and stick it in your face? I was like, that is a frightening visual, okay? That was a frightful visual right there, Toya. But anyway, we end on that cliffhanger, but next week we see Toya and Audra throwing hands like Toya and Mariah Huck in season 1, circa episode 1 of this show, baby. Listen, Married to Medicine is just heating up, and we about to take off with it, y'all. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode down in the conversation down below. And with that, I will see you in the next video.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Well, I thought the video ended. Y'all, I ain't no good today.